So I'm going to read a piece from this book called In the House, an American, and it's a piece called Carlos, citing the main character in the book, Carlos Rossman, brushes up against the un-American pintore, painter, anti-fascista, and wonders why more Americans are not screaming, "You fascist," anymore. At Santorini's, here in North Beach, Carlos sits upstairs by the window, watching the numbers on the roofs of the houses of the buses passing by, numbers painted there so that the buses can be tracked by air in case the transit system is hijacked. Downstairs, the black-robed Greek artist paints portraits on the cafe walls and stares outside and starts pointing and waving his brushes in protest at the scene outside. Look at those cops out there, 8 cops, 4 on each side of the street, checking the buses going in both directions, cops getting on as passengers get off, checking bus transfers with nothing better to do. There are cocaine dealers all over the city and they're checking fake bus transfers? You gotta be kidding. This is not why my mother escaped the Greek fascists to come over here to America to see the fascist pigs getting off on innocent riders. It's true. Carlos looks below. The Chinese and the homeless are all gesticulating, but the cops' gesticulations look more threatening, questioning individuals within the throng of passengers, maybe because their hands will come to rest on the holsters at their hips. The street scene is alive with these facts. No doubt, he marks in his notebook, everyone's justifying their transfers. The buses could go rogue. In the 1964 Leroy Jones play called Dutchman, the hip white seductress Lula says, "You fascist," to the younger buttoned-up black man Clay, and Carlos wonders what she means calling him a fascist, cold as ashes. Maybe she believes he needs to play up his desire for order and rigor to show he can act middle-class white and responsible, to show he could rationalize her murder in some future time as she does his in this present time. Or maybe she is just throwing out epithets. For Carlos, the word is only a reminder. In the past, hip people used to call police fascists. The Spartan painter, tall, with long, curly, dark hair, wears a sword hanging from his belt, and inside long, cylindrical bags carries his brushes over his shoulders like Torah scrolls. For months, he has been painting portraits on the cafe wall of Santorini's. Santorini has requested a scene of 2 Native Americans on the wall, a chief and his wife, and the Spartan obliges. He is being paid daily in full. It is only in the last few days since Carlos arrived and heard the story that the Spartan has been screaming and waving madly his brushes at the cops outside. "Hey, you, anti-fascisto Spartano pintore, you anti-fascist Spartan painter," Santorini calls out to the Spartan. "Calm down, man, relax, please, you're disturbing the customers. They have a right to privacy." "To each his own, man," Santorini says. "Thank you." But the Spartan can't stop himself and doesn't understand when thank you means no thank you. Carlos walks in one afternoon and Santorini laughs and tells him he fired the Spartan for disturbing the peace just before the painting was finished. There's the chief, yes, his wife, the peace pipe in his hand. But the wife is not complete. Maybe her eyes are missing. As if guided by a law which demands he shoo customers out of a cafe in which a shrouded corpse rests. And as if saying in perfect American cop talk to his customers, "Okay, folks, move on. There's nothing to see here." Santorini completes the picture by making his words come true. "Nothing to see here, folks," erasing the wife, lacquering her with black paint, while whistling the Rolling Stones painted black. In the chief's hand, he draws a pink Italian newspaper rag resembling La Gazzetta dello Sport, born in the late 19th century, and these days published in 8 cities on pink newsprint. As the chief reads the inside scoop on 19th century local reaction to the Patuan-speaking Isadora Filomeno de Solano's words, "I do not like the white man because he is a liar and a thief," not to mention, Carlos guesses, a fascist, Santorini makes sure his customers are reading his words on the outside of the sheet, right under the peace pipe. Italia Campione 2010. Italian champion, World Cup 2010. In June 2010, before the World Cup begins, a Native American chief, a prophet from the 19th century, reads with a smile among the police and the anti-fascists. Yet Carlos is curious. Why, Carlos asked Santorini, after the 150 years the cafe's been here, did you decide on this Italian chief, on this Indian chief, on the wall of an Italian cafe? He seems out of place, no? Hey, Santorini smiles and gestures to the wall like a proud subject to his king. Our first customer in America.